your Mercedes photos, images, I think they're some of the most spectacular ones, because I think everyone here, between Coca-Cola and Mercedes, if you are on human earth, you have seen either Coca-Cola, you've seen a can, you've probably drank Coca-Cola, and you've probably seen a Mercedes, or you've seen a car. So you can kind of, these are things that you can picture. Maybe you can't picture what a Mexican hacienda looks like, or that it almost looks like a house that was architecturally out in Sweden because it was a fireplace, and just how big the roof was anyway. But Mercedes, I think, is something everyone has seen. And so when I see this, I was just blown away. And I'm going to kind of run through these quickly. But talk to me as we're going through, where, was this Batmobile inspired? What did you try to put in for these prompts to get them to look so smooth? Like this one specifically is unbelievable.
I think I was tweaking one prompt. I don't, the landscapes were changing slightly, but this was much more to do with running a prompt and tweaking it a bit, and just choosing one that looked kind of like it was heading the right way, and then reiterating it. So it becomes a bit like, I guess you could equate it to natural selection. So in the sense that through the survival of species through natural selection or whatever, you take one thing and then you reiterate it. And what you're doing is you're kind of honing down into something that you like the look of. So it's not always a question of getting very delicate with the prompts. It's a question of a different kind of workflow that involves reiterating things potentially hundreds of times before the logo's right, the wing mirrors are right, the tires are right, the background's right, the color of the bonnet is right. There aren't any hallucinations or inconsistencies with the image, etc.
Yeah, this one specifically, the lights almost look like eyes, and if you squint hard enough, it looks like a cat's eyes. And these Mercedes images, I just think are fantastic. And this AMG, how it says AMG on the front, which is totally a Mercedes thing. One of the things you'll know if you have played around with any AI is getting the text to be right. We create AI images a lot at work, where I work for a Bitcoin mining company, and Bitcoin mining is still a very nascent industry. And so I don't think the large learning models have enough to go off of. And oftentimes with any text on screen, it's always a crapshoot. But these tires look like they are, been run through mud, and you can see kind of the brand of the tire. And this is one of the cleaner pictures, I think, that looks realistic to a point. Like I believe that exists. This one also, maybe I could believe that it exists, but this one feels like an SUV that, Mercedes will drop in 2026, and I see, driving down the street.
Yeah, I like that, and I think it's to do with the matte kind of olive.
The matte is really nice too.
Yeah. Funnily enough, with the gull wing ones, I excluded a lot of the gull wing ones because I noticed that one side, the driver's side, the gull wing door, was kind of elongated. I was expecting it to be symmetrical. And so I chose ones which were closer to being balanced in terms of the symmetry of the doors. But I subsequently found out, when I went looking at images of Mercedes gull wings, the classic ones, that the doors are actually asymmetrical. One is larger than the other. So it was funny that I actually thought that AI was messing it up, actually getting it right. So yeah, but like in question, you mentioned the AMG thing. The number of times I had AMG on the front of a car and it didn't say AMG. So again, it's a question of just patience and persistence until you get something that works on all fronts.
And I like this one because you came out with this image probably before Tesla had launched their bus, their taxi. And now this looks very similar to their taxi, which also looks like the kind of human transports that were in iRobot, which is another, we could probably talk about that for a while.